Our starting point was quite surprising. Consumers generally thought that the local authorities did far more inspections than they actually do, and how time allows, there are so few of them really compared with the number of businesses they have to visit. So we were interested to learn what our starting point is, and hadn't realised actually that the system's been in place for decades and really does need upgrading. It's interesting that all food producers and suppliers are treated in a similar fashion, regardless of the level of risk of their businesses. So they're looking at a proportionate way forward and treating higher risk businesses with more regulation requirements than, say, a sweet shop where it's over-the-counter sales. They all need to be regulated, but not necessarily to the same degree. It's interesting that the FHRS stickers are not compulsory everywhere, and we're hopeful that eventually it will become compulsory throughout England, Wales and Northern Ireland, as it is in Wales already. That's a useful guide for consumers. The lack of guidelines to businesses when they start up from local authorities is quite interesting. They can just start trading and later they will be inspected by the local authorities, and they're not given the pre-startup information which may assist them and make sure they start off on a good footing. So to have something in place that gives them that guidance before they start would be really good. A lot of it we did like. They're taking on board things that we've mentioned over the last 3 meetings, and we could clearly see the information that we'd put forward and suggested was being used, whether it was thought of by us or actually by the FSA anyway, but it was all information that had been put to good use within the model that they're looking to take forward. I think it's important that they have the views of people at grassroots level. We're relying on them to look after our best interests, and if they're not listening to what the consumer, Joe Public, thinks of as important, they're not necessarily going to put in place procedures that, even with food producers following it, give the consumer confidence. So they need our input to make sure that whatever is there will give the confidence that the FSA are looking to achieve.